We're gonna make an egg roulade with a dozen eggs, has some spinach and Gruyere, serves a crowd, and is incredibly easy to do. Now, this egg recipe I developed years ago, and I love it because it is absolutely bomb-proof. You can cook a dozen eggs all at once, and they always turn out perfect, because we're gonna do it in the oven on a sheet pan. It's like a sheet pan omelet. When it comes out, we're gonna roll it up, and it looks beautiful. Perfect for a brunch if you wanna do something a little special. So we're gonna use a dozen eggs, gonna crack them into a large bowl. Now, in culinary school, it was really cool if you could do it with two hands, and I never quite mastered that. Oh no. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna do that again. All right. 10, 11, and that makes 12. All right, let's get this out of the way. Now we're just gonna season these eggs with a little salt and pepper. Just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/8 of a teaspoon pepper. All right. And we're gonna add just a little bit of garlic, just 1 clove of garlic. And I'm gonna use a rasp style grater to grate the garlic right into the eggs. It just adds this unexpected flavor and really takes it from tasting just like cooked eggs to something a little special. And I'm gonna whisk this together. Oh, those yolks are a beautiful yellow. Look at that. Right, now to these eggs, we're gonna add a little bit of insurance to make sure when we roll the egg roulade, it stays nice and together. That insurance is a little bit of half and half in the cutest glass bottle I've ever seen. 1/4 cup of half and half, and 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And we're just gonna whisk the flour and the half and half together, make a slurry of sorts, dissolve the flour. Then this goes right into the eggs. All right, here comes the magic part. Onto a baking sheet, which is how we're gonna cook the eggs. Now, this is a rimmed baking sheet. You obviously need a nice rim so that the eggs don't go all over the oven. Sprayed it thoroughly with vegetable oil spray, piece of parchment on top, more vegetable spray. That just means the eggs will slide right off the parchment when it's time to make a nice roulade. Right onto the baking sheet. I know this looks really weird. I remember the first time I did it, I thought this couldn't possibly work, but it works like a charm, and it means anybody can make a great bunch of eggs for a crowd. Now what I have here, believe it or not, this is 8 ounces of frozen spinach. I know, it cooks down and wilts down to nothing. Now what I did is I squeezed it through cheesecloth just to get rid of any extra moisture, because you don't want that to sog out the eggs. You want to kind of sprinkle it over evenly, as evenly as you can. Again, we're gonna roll this up. All right, now into the oven it goes, 375 degrees for 9 minutes. And you can tell it's done because it's gonna be set around the edges. Oh, all right, you can see these eggs are done, but you can see it's still pretty rollable, and that is perfect. Last but not least, we're gonna use a cup of shredded Gruyere. We're gonna sprinkle it right over the top. You don't need to melt it in the oven. You can just let the heat of the eggs melt it right into the center of the roulade. This helps keep things nice and moist so you don't have dry eggs. You have nice, moist, fluffy eggs. The fun part is about to happen. All right, logistics. Get your platter close by, because we're gonna roll it off the sheet pan onto the platter. This is why we greased the sheet pan and the parchment. We're just gonna roll it right up. Okay, lift up the sheet pan and right onto the platter. Oh. Now, seam side up, if you want to be particular, and I do. I like rolling it seam side down. Oh, isn't that cool? I mean, it's a dozen eggs. It has garlic, it has spinach, has the Gruyere melting inside, and it is so impressive. Let's dive into those eggs. Now, I like presenting it as a big roulade, and you can just put a little knife there and people can cut off as much or as little as they want. Oh, you see that? That cheese is so nice and melty in the middle, but the eggs are cooked through. I mean, that is a perfectly cooked egg. Oh, all right, I'm going right for the eggs first. All right. Oh, yes, that cheese, the Gruyere is perfectly melted. You can see. Perfection on the eggs, and that little bit of garlic, it pops through and kind of reminds you that it's there. It just doesn't taste like scrambled eggs with a little spinach. It tastes special. Perfect brunch. See you next time. Thanks for watching. What'd you think? Leave a comment below and let me know what you're excited to cook this week. You can get today's recipes and more for free at our website.